Hey, good morning everybody. Today we're going to look at this knife. This is the Peter Carey Design Turbo. And I just would like to start off saying, hey, if you like my channel, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good stuff. The Peter Carey Design Turbo is distributed by Monterey Bay Knives, which is a company that was started by Ray Laconico. Trying to get his knives and other designers' knives into the hands of people at a price that's more affordable. Because if you want to get a Peter Carey custom or a Ray Laconico custom, man, you're going to pay some big money. So these are made in China. I am not sure which company, which OEM he is using. Some people, I've heard people say Riot, I've heard people say Kaiser, so I don't know. I don't know for sure. It's not listed on his website. So what do we have here? What we have here is a blade that on his website says 3 3/4, but it's actually 3 1/2. And I believe I got a tape measure here somewhere. Here it is. Ta-da. So yeah, more like a 3 1/2 inch blade. I guess 3 3/4 if you go to the pivot, and a 4 1/2 inch handle. So pretty good ratio there, 3 1/2 to 4 1/2. And they don't list the weight on the website, and I don't have a scale, but it actually in hand feels pretty light. I'm going to guess that it is really close to 4, maybe just 4 1/2 ounces. They are titanium liners, titanium backspacer, titanium milled pocket clip. The pivot is titanium. The blade is a sandwich or sandmine material. As you can see by the line on there, this is ZDP 189, and I don't know what this is. They don't list it on the website. I'm going to guess it's probably 420J or something like that. There's your ZDP 189. There's your maker's mark. There is your Monterey Bay Knives logo. And this one has been changed a little bit. I have polished the carbon fiber just a little bit. It comes pretty matte, and I don't really like super matte finish carbon fiber. I like to have that shiny depth to it. You can still see some of the texture lines on there. It came with like a milled texturing on it. I got rid of most of it. I just think it feels a little bit better in my hand that way, and I like the look of it. So, and to me, that's kind of some of the important things. I also plan on eventually putting a detent ball ramp on it, but I have not done that yet. So, size comparisons. Here it is next to the Spyderco Para 3. As you can see, longer, more blade cutting edge, bigger handle by just a little bit. Blade steel thickness is actually identical, 3 1/2 millimeter. So here it is next to a case sway back. So much bigger than the sway back by case. Here it is next to a Leatherman Charge TI. So with the blade open, it's much bigger than the Leatherman Charge TI. And here it is next to the OXO Good Grips Fruit and Potato Peeler. I just like to throw something different in there just for whatever. Entertainment value? I don't know. So let's get started in with the things about this knife that I'm not too hot on. First of all, I didn't like that it came with the matte carbon fiber, because when you look at Carey Customs, or if you look at the ones like that a Spyderco has made, the carbon fiber is usually polished, and I kind of like that look better. So like I said, I gave it a little bit of polish. The flipper tab on it is kind of big and bulky. It is a push button flipper at best. You can still light switch it, but I kind of wish they could have done maybe just a little bit more of a minimal flipper. I don't know, flipper tab. I like the blade grind. Carey's kind of into that tactical looking knives, and I like this. I just wish that maybe it would have been hollow ground, so it could have been a little thinner at the edge. it is a little bit thick at the edge. And speaking about the edge, when I went to sharpen it, I kind of had an issue with, I'd get it down to a fine edge and then the edge would feather and break off. Kind of weird. Finally got it. Took a little bit of doing, but basically I had to start and do like a secondary or a third bevel, I guess, on the edge to keep that from happening. Like I said, it would develop a burr. It would look like you're developing a burr, but the whole edge would just kind of come off, which was kind of weird. So I don't know if it's part of the hardness or whatever of this edge, of this steel. And I've also noticed that maybe it's, I don't know, it could also be a heat treat problem, but my edge does not hold like your normal ZDP 189 edge. But I'm going to keep sharpening it and keep working it, and maybe I just need to work it down. Maybe the edge got burned a little bit. I don't know. The other thing I don't really particularly care about this knife is the detent ball is not close enough to the blade. So you get that, and the detent ball is not up on it. So what they should have done, in my opinion, is they could have left the detent ball where it is, but it needs a detent ball ramp, which I plan on doing, because the rest of the knife, I really, really like it. I really like it. So let's get into those things that I really, really like. I think the blade shape is cool looking. I like the swedge. Could have been stone washed, I guess, but I don't mind the grinder satin is pretty cool too. It is very tough, sturdy blade. Like, I'm not afraid to do anything with it. Check out my disassembly video. You'll also see that this knife disassembles and assembles fairly easy. I did have an issue with, and I can't remember if I switched it around or not, but the pivot was on the wrong side. So I switched it around to the right side. But for a blade this long, things like centering is really, really good. That's really hard to do with a long blade, and they did that really well. I love the knife in hand. Like I said, Carey's kind of a tactical knife designer, but he's also very ergonomic in his designs. This knife is amazing in hand. The carbon fiber is, it's not really contoured, it's got a flat on it, but it's really, the way he's contoured these sides is really good. There are no sharp edges anywhere, which I really appreciate. The jimping on it is tactile, but not so aggressive that it hurts your hand, which I really appreciate. The back spacer, although it has these bumps on here, it isn't sharp in any way, so again, it doesn't hurt your hand. And look, what's missing? No lanyard tube. And I really appreciate that. And you don't need it with this knife. You've got almost a 1/2 inch sticking out of your pocket, which is fine with me. The clip works really good. It's very strong. Some people complain that it's too tight, or that it's too sharp underneath and it grabs your pants. Maybe a little bit, but what I really like about Carey's clips, and this is obviously his design, they always look kind of wide like that and have the holes, is in your hand, it disappears. You don't feel it. It's not in your way. It is really nice. That part I really like also about this knife. And I just like the design overall. I think it looks really cool, and it's not just your ordinary typical design. And for a big knife, it is pretty light and feels pretty good. It's a little, well, no, I guess it's about right. Balance is good. If you want to do all those weird tactical grips and stuff like that, that's all good. I am not a tactical knife guy. I'm not going to come on here and bash people who are. I hear some people do that. I get it. If that's what you think your knife is for a backup weapon or whatever, good luck. That's all I got to say. But I get it. I understand it. I mean, we're men, and sometimes men, we like weapons. So, but for me, this is just a tool. All my knives are just tools. And this is a pretty good one. Flipping action is really good. I mean, besides the detent thing, once it is over the ball, it closes perfectly. It's not guillotine sloppy, but it's functional and it falls shut pretty nice. You get no blade play, no rock up and down. That all's really nice. Really nice. Cool design. I really like his back spacers. This would be really cool with like dark blue hardware. That would be neat. They do make a titanium version of this, and they also make a micarta version of this, and I believe it sells for $230, and includes your shipping and your taxes and everything. Like, they don't charge extra for tax, which I think is very cool. So you pay $230 and you get it. And that's part of the other reason I don't think it's a Riot, because I don't see Riot making a knife this nice. Usually knives like this made by Riot are in the $300 to $350 price range. So I think you're getting a very good bargain as well. Although to a lot of people, they say, oh, $230 is no bargain. To me, I think it is for what you get. The nice carbon fiber. There's no voids and stuff in it. If we zoom in on it, and you can see there's no big pits or anything. It's really good carbon fiber. And like I said, the construction is really nice. Look at that nice beveling on the scales. No sharp edges. They could have sunk the screws a little better. You can see my disassembly video about how all that goes together. Kind of a custom looking typical Carey design pivot. I like his designs on his pivot. I like the fact that the pivot's almost in the exact orientation it needs to be to have perfect action and lockup. Speaking of lockup, this is what you get. 40% maybe. No lock stick, nothing like that. Yes, I use my knives. This is a user. So it's a good knife. It's a good knife. I'm not here to tell you whether to buy or not to buy a knife, but in my opinion, I like this knife quite a bit. Enough that I'm going to keep it and put a detent ramp on it and use it. So anyway, that's it. This is your Monterey Bay Knives Carey Design Turbo. Good knife. If you're looking at one, I would say go ahead and get it. Who knows how long they'll be around, or if they're going to keep putting them out or whatever. So have a great day. Toad Sticker out.